Reece James, my captain.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night.
What up, what up? Hello, hello. Welcome back to another video on my channel. Now, this month has been completely terrible. I have no words. This January that just passed, because today is 1st of February, it has just been terrible. I should have recorded this earlier, but again, been busy. By this February, I shouldn't be as busy as I've been. We'll see what we can do. And I hope to make good on my promise of posting more than one video a month. But we'll see. We'll keep praying and working towards that. But without further ado, let's jump into the video because honestly, the month of January has just been terrible. The bad form that we ended December with just continued snowballing. It hit a brief pause against Wolves and then it continued against Man City, which was very unfortunate because against Man City, that was the first time that I felt confident that we could beat them since probably the Champions League final. And before the Champions League final, I've only felt I don't know, my confidence against Man City just never be there. I think I made a tweet some months back that when we first played them at the start of the season, that to me Man City is always a free hit because I never feel comfortable against them because I rate Pep such a high standard that I automatically don't expect us to win. I still wish that we win and pray that we win and try to look for ways that we could win, but never confident that we could win until the last game that we played, which I was somewhat confident, but I still had these doubts. But for now, I'm trying something different. It needs to be different. In previous videos, usually what I did was I would have like bullet points and I would have watched the game at least twice and watched highlights before I record the video so that everything will be a little bit fresher in my mind. But this time, like I said, I haven't had a lot of time to do all of that prep. So what I did was I wrote my thoughts down, which I would read off. So kind of to have a baseline, I could go off topic and talk in depth about other stuff. But I have like a structure of my thoughts that I wrote, I prepared beforehand. Even though we were in a bad moment, I was not convinced that we were at panic stations just yet. Because even as things are, I still believe that we'll finish top four. Maybe not as comfortably as I thought initially at the beginning of the season, but I still believe that we'll make top four. Because I still think Nottingham Forest will drop out. But we've been on this winless run from the Everton game up until the Wolves game, which looks worse if you just look at the fixture list, how many games we've gone without a win. But if you add in the context of us going unbeaten for like 2 months, like let me just say, if you mix up the games that we lost with the games that we won, it doesn't look as bad. But because it just that big chunk of 0 wins, 0 points gained, actually I think it was like 2 points gained or 3 points gained in like 5 games, it looks terrible. But it's still not good enough, regardless. I don't even know how I would explain it, whether I would say it's not unexpected or it's not completely surprising or completely shocking because this same thing happened when he managed Leicester in the Championship. They were flying in the Championship up until January, December period, and then they had this massive downfall of form, and then they later on picked up after. So, which is why I'm not too worried. I'm not at panic stations just yet, as I mentioned before. We do need to improve and get back to a consistent winning run. And I hope we can do that because I think we have an easier run of games. Let's see. Actually, no, I can't even say that because the run of games that we lost, like that were winless, they were relatively easy teams to play against. For Jackson especially, he needs to find his shooting boots because I don't understand what has happened to him. We need him, which is part of why I don't blame Maresca a lot because the board, the sporting directors, like the owners, I don't know who we need to look at, but most likely the sporting directors and the scouting, they need to be looked at and questioned because Jackson, I've been saying it, Jackson cannot be our only striker. It makes zero sense. And he's visibly tired and his confidence is lower than it has been, or it usually is, which is not a good combination. It's not a good mix. And the other attackers need to chip in. So I've mentioned it before. that Sancho needs to shoot more. Madueke needs to improve his finishing. Like all the other attackers, even Cole Palmer needs to do better. And Morecambe also needs to figure out how to help these players in games to make proactive or protective changes, like maybe drop into line deeper. Or, I don't know. They need to do something different. Without waffling too much, we'll just go into the Crystal Palace game. I spoke about the feeling, or a feeling in my last video, a feeling that it took a while to develop. That when we were playing games or playing against teams, that whenever we go a goal down, that I always felt like we'd come back, which was prevalent when we played against Tottenham. And that feeling is completely gone. Completely. Like when we go a goal down, right now, I think we're going to probably lose the game. Like that feeling I had has been replaced by an expectation that we'll concede, and after we concede, we would either draw or lose the game. We most likely lose because we consistently fail to put the game to bed. I had no issues with the lineup against Crystal Palace, and we dominated the entire first half. I don't remember a clear chance from Crystal Palace at all. I think except a cutback from that felt too easy, and I don't even think he got on target. And the goal from Palmer was pure quality, beautifully created by brilliance from Sancho. There was the second, and then the second half came, and we continued to miss chances, miss chances, miss chances. Then Palace came back into the game. They grew. Jackson had a poor game. He had zero chances created, zero shots on target. Like, fam, and the naivety in the team was apparent as Palmer gives the ball away in our own half in the 81st minute, where one like fam, we could have won that game 1-0. Sure, Jackson missed a lot of chances. Sure, the defense was a bit shaky and when we were under pressure. But what's wrong with winning the game 1-0? And that goal that we considered was completely on Palmer. Some people say, oh, Sanchez shouldn't have given him the ball. Well, honestly, I think that's bollocks because the pass was completed. Palmer got full control of the ball and he does nonsense, loses it. I was happy to see Achampong starts though. But I was not happy to see Gusto and Neto because they were just underwhelming. Gusto, I don't know what's going on with him this year. Oh, sorry, this season. Or maybe I just expected too much from him. I don't know. Sanchez will be Sanchez. I don't like talking about him because it's boring. He does the same thing. He makes errors every game. They don't all always lead to goals, but he makes mistakes every game. As I'm speaking now, I think he has like 5 or 6 errors leading to goal, which is absurd for a first team keeper of a top team. But here, Maresca makes late subs again, and it's just boring. Like I mentioned, it's like watching the same game over and over. So there was a break in the losing streak, but it wasn't in the Premier League. It was in the FA Cup where we played Morecambe. Well, I would say we needed a break in the winless run. But in the game, we had a slow start, which led to some meltdown happening in the Chelsea fan base, which to me, I don't understand. They were playing Morecambe. Like, even if it's a slow start, we're eventually going to win the game. I was never concerned about that. The meltdown was compounded by the missed penalty from Nkunku. The penalty that they even gave us was crazy. So it's crazy the way the guy just puts his hands up and still calling that the ball offside was out. But yeah, Nkunku missed the penalty, even though the goalkeeper was actually way off his line when he took it. If there was VAR, would have taken it and he would have probably scored. People were panicking nonetheless until Tosin found the back of the net from an outside of the box shot that was helped by a big deflection just before halftime. Maresca made subs at halftime and floodgates opened. Nkunku finally scored. And he refused to do his balloon celebration. It was funny. I saw Gusto when they were celebrating our each other. Gusto went over to him. I was asking him, oh, will you do the balloon celebration? And I was like, no. That was funny. But yeah, Joao Felix had the game of his life. He was playing, he was dangerous from minute 1 to minute 90. And he finally found his goal. Then Tosin scored again, showing his quality. Like me, I'm a Tosin enjoyer. And people say he's made and all this, but me, I think he's a very good defender. I think he just needs a proper run of games. And when we played Wolves, we had Chalobah and Tosin, I don't think we should have changed it against against Man City because I don't trust Cole, especially him just coming back from injury. I don't think they should have thrown him in there because anyway, we'll get there. Anyway, Felix found 2 goals after a lot of near misses all game. He's a very frustrating player. He always has near misses. Like he doesn't always blaze it over the bar and scuff shots. Like his shooting technique is good, but he just never. It's either when it's on target, it's a very feeble shot that the goalkeeper claims easily, or it's just wide of the post, or just it is over the bar, and it is very frustrating. And it's similar to Sancho, but for different reasons. Joao Felix shoots a lot and doesn't score a lot, but Sancho almost never shoots. Very frustrating players. But yeah, going into Bournemouth, Bournemouth was another, like I said, it's another repeat game, and if not for Rich James, we would have lost. We're back to our Premier League winless ways, and again, Palmer, as the script goes, Palmer scores, and we miss chances after creating quite a few chances. But the goal that Palmer scored was beautiful, though, especially from Jackson. That was his best action in the game. He skillfully got away from 3 players and laid it on the plate for Palmer. And we should have gone 2 goals up. Oh no, sorry, I'm thinking about Man City. I'm sorry, that Man City game is just in my head. But yeah, he lays on the place for Palmer, and Palmer guides it, sits the keeper on the ground, puts the ball away neatly. And yeah, like I said, we went back to missing chances after that. So many chances. Jackson missed a barrage of chances. Oh, and Lavia being back from injury, he really helped us dominate that game. We had a very dominant performance. I don't think, yeah, Palmer didn't have any shots on target that whole first half. He made one mistake that whole game, and that mistake was very costly. He gave the ball away, and Caicedo put under pressure. He gives away the penalty. And man, I don't know. I put most of the blame on Lavia for losing the ball there. Obviously, the Caicedo challenge was rash, but I don't completely blame him for making that challenge. And I feel like Achampong could have done better. I could have closed, I think it was Samenyo, could have closed him down better. Divert, he put his penalty away neatly. And after that mistake, I think some minutes later, Rhys James comes in for Lavia, and we lost the control that we had in the first half. Because Caicedo is a brilliant player, he knows how to break up play, but he doesn't have that quality that Lavia has to retain the ball and evade press easily or make it look easy while doing it. But yeah, we lost control. Bournemouth grew in confidence. Semenyo scores. So it's a very annoying goal because Sanchez just shows him the entire near post. Again, like I don't know, Sanchez is just boring, man. It's honestly just boring. And it's on Maresca at this point for continuously picking him. And instead of not picking Sanchez again and again in that game, he took off Achampong, which lots of people had a lot to say about it having a knock on his confidence. But honestly, I understand it. But honestly, I don't care about it because a if your manager taking you off after 70 minutes after you made a mistake affects your confidence so much that you no longer become a good player, like you have bigger issues. Honestly, like this whole football war is a lot more brutal than that. Like I remember when what do you call it? I remember when Tuchel brought in Odoi and took him off. Like, fam, people are ruthless in this world. Like, you need to those kind of things. You cannot let them affect you. So I don't really care about it as much as people were like complaining about it. And I don't even think that action. I don't even think like him taking him off was blaming him for the goal. I think he saw that we're in trouble and he wanted to put on more experienced players to help us see out the game because he brought on Tosin and like that backline was, I think it was Colwill, it was Kukurea, Colwill, Tosin, and Rhys James. And that's an experienced backline. Bar maybe Colwill is the least experienced there, but he's still like he has played enough football. Like he played he has played lots of football, so he's more experienced, you understand? So I think he wanted more control or a more solid, not more control, but a more solid defensive line to help us see out the game. And when he brought on Jao Felix, there was there was a bit of a change in the way we were playing, and he was causing us of troubles. That referee was horrendous, by the way. But yeah, Felix came on and he was creating a lot of chaos for the Bournemouth backline and midfield, and then he won a free kick, which honestly there should have been a penalty, but we scored from a free kick, so it doesn't really matter. But Rhys, Rhys James, my captain, he scored from that free kick and rescued us a point from a game that we should have probably lost. And in all, this was a disappointing game. I thought it was a game that could have helped us get us out of our ruts, but it ended up being same old, same old. Well, Enzo did have a good game. Fernandez, he had a very good game. He played really well. Madueke wasn't at his best, but he beat his defender a fair few times, created a few chances with some cutbacks that Sonny played for Jackson. Kukurea and Colwell were solid. Achapong was decent as well. There were a few shaky moments in possession, but he's a kid. Like Farmer was good, but his performance seemed to fade. I don't know as the game went on, and I think he picked up an injury, which was the reason why he wasn't as creative and as he usually is. He has started doing this thing that frustrates me. Like when we're losing or we need a goal, like he does this flicks. I don't know if I mentioned it in my last video, but I've been noticing it. Like he does these flicks that don't come off that are so unnecessary, and it's very annoying. That Robert Jones referee, gosh, was terrible. I don't understand how he didn't send off Brooks and Bjorksen. Brooks for that close line that he gave to Kukurea. Like I don't understand how that's a yellow card. Like fam. And Bjorksen, that which what I mentioned earlier, that we should have gotten a penalty when Jao Felix was brought down on the edge of the box. Jackson made a run into the box, and the Bjorksen guy literally grabs him and pulls him to the ground. I don't understand how that wasn't even looked at all. But It is what it is. And I don't think there are any good referees left in this Premier League at all. None of them are good. Like before, you think, okay, Anthony Taylor, this is going to be terrible. This other person might be better. But all of them are terrible. All of them. Moving on to Wolves. Finally, against Wolves, we're able to break the winless cross. It was a good feeling, an awesome feeling to finally win again. And the team finally stepped up. While Jackson continues his bad run of goal scoring form, Tosin once again opens the scoring for us, and Kukurea finds the net. Like he's been so inspirational of late. Like Kukurea comes in, takes the ball down, and does a scissor kick in the air, like very acrobatic. And we got those goals, even though that first half that we had left a lot to be desired. Like we still didn't play at our best, but at least I've been saying it. Sure, Jackson has been missing chances. He's been on a very bad run of form, but he's not the only person in the squad. Like other people, Madueke, Sancho, Palmer, like other people in the team, Enzo, Caicedo, like Kukurea, whoever is playing right back, James or whoever, like people need to step up and score. It shouldn't always be on Jackson. Nkunku, when he comes on, he should do better. Neto should do better. Like everybody should at least like contribute. It shouldn't always be on Jackson. It's very baffling. But in the game against Wolves, they stepped up. They did well to keep Jackson out of the game. I think I really saw him do anything of note in the first half. And they kept roughing up Palmer that whole game. Like that Gomez guy, he just kept kicking Palmer up and down. But yeah, it wasn't long before Wolves got their equalizer with their very first shot on target after Sanchez fumbles the ball and causes another error leading to go from their corner kick. Like even the trait that I think he is good at, cross collection because of his height and everything. I think he's decent at it. Like he still makes a mess out of it. Like I don't understand why he didn't just punch it. I don't get it. I don't know what was going through his head. You are being pushed into the goal. I don't know why you still think you can catch it. We had a near perfect first half, but once again from dominating the ball and chances in the game, I was a bit apprehensive seeing the lineup with Jules Bihor and Chalobah starting. But honestly, both of them they put in performances worthy of man of the match, especially Chalobah. And I've always said it. I think Jusbio is a good player. Even when he was playing in the Premier League, and I watched a few of Leicester games before they got relegated. Like I think he's a decent player. If he's not good enough for what we want to do, like as a starter, but as a backup, I think he's good enough. I don't know why Maresca doesn't give him more game time to rest Caicedo and Enzo. I guess he doesn't trust him, which is weird because he was his best player when he was still at Leicester. But anyway, Rhys James started again. He put in a shift, a proper captain's performance, and that moment where he hands the captain's handband to Caicedo, I was like, win this game, man. I was very impressed. And it was an immense moment. It showed to me that he's growing into this captaincy. And Caicedo was solid again, as usual. He's our most important player, honestly. He's our most important player, similar to what Rodri is to City, but obviously to a lesser degree. But not by much, honestly, because I think he's being led down by the team. But yeah, he's the engine of the team. He keeps the ball ticking, cutting off counter attacks, and he plays these line breaking passes sometimes. And I keep praying that he remains fit for the whole season because I don't know what we'll do without him, honestly, especially with Lavia being injured every time. Uh, but yeah, Neto was horrible. Neto, that was the worst game I've ever seen him play. Like, he was terrible, and his bad performances affected Kukurea because Kukurea too was making mistakes up and down. But Madueke was up for the game. You could see he was trying to have an impact. He was trying to score, trying to, create chances. And he did. Even though Jose got the assist for Kukurea's goal, but the cross that he put in was perfect. Inch perfect. Because even if Jose didn't flick it on, I think it would have still got into Kukurea. Madueke got a lot of joy in the acres of space that was afforded him. And he forced them to take itinerary to the other side because he kept cooking him. Samedo had to move to left back to take care of Madueke, and he still kept getting joy out of it. Even though it wasn't as much as when he was up against Aitnuri, he had a very decent game, created a bunch of chances. Even though he had a lot of those loose touches and some lost possessions, but I'm happy he got his goal, and I hope it gives him a boost to keep scoring and keep having impacts in games. And Maresca finally made early subs. He hooked off Neto for Sancho, and Sancho helped us regain control and he balled out. I also liked the move to take off Palmer while the game was already won. And all the players that came on, the Sassi, which baffled me a bit, Gusto, George, Felix, they were all decent and helped us see off the game. But I have to say, the more games and goals that Sanchez costs us, you can't keep looking at Sanchez because we are all saying the same thing. And Maresca keeps picking him. So it's on Maresca the more times Sanchez costs us games. But I was happy with the 3 points and it put us back in top four. And we finally got to the 40 points mark. But yeah, now we're going to Man City. Gosh. The game kicked off with Guts, the first goal. Madueke scores again. Happy for him. I hope he keeps scoring. But man, gosh. I don't even know, man. Not that it's time to talk about them, I don't even know what to say. Like I said earlier, I thought we could win the game. I thought we could win the game for the first time in a very long time. I thought we could beat Man City. Even though it's at their home, but we've beaten at their home many times this season already. But we just couldn't. When I saw the lineup before the game kicked off, the only thing that I had to say that was just niggling at the back of my mind is, should Cole be starting this game? I know. A lot of you might look at me like, what do you mean? Like Cole has been our starting centre back since the season started. But in all the times that we played City with Cole at centre back, Haaland always bullies him. I have never seen Cole get the better of Haaland. I didn't have the same thought about Chalobah because to me that's an unknown quantity. I don't remember seeing. Maybe it has happened, but I don't remember seeing Haaland up against Chalobah. So I wasn't sure. But he had a very good game against Wolves, man of the match performance. So I thought he should be fine. Even if he's not his sparkling best, he should at least be decent in this game. But I know that Cole will struggle, especially just coming back from injury, and that was the only thing that was on my mind. Now the game kicks off. Kuzanov, he makes a horrendous mistake. 3 minutes in, how many minutes in? Yeah, 3 minutes in, makes a horrendous mistake, horrendous back pass, leads to a goal. Jackson gets it, squares it to Madwiki, he scores, happy for him. We kept plugging away, plugging away. We get another chance. For Kuzma gets booked, but I don't, he didn't really impact the game because I felt like we didn't target him enough. So moving on, we get a chance. Farmer with the ball, Jackson free on the right side. Farmer squares it. It's a horrendous pass. He was bobbling up and down, the forced him wide. But even at that, Jackson doesn't. He just didn't have the confidence to just strike it with his left foot, which I think he should have done. Just take it with your left foot. If he does, we probably score because there was a big enough space to aim at. But his confidence is already down, so we need another striker. But yeah, after the 25th minute, it's like we just switched off. Like before, at least we could last the whole half. Like all these games that we've been playing, the entire first half, we would play well against Fulham, against Crystal Palace, against Wolves, even though we also didn't last the entire half against Wolves. Man City, they were already picking themselves off the floor. They were not as horrendous as they've been. Like they are not in that horrendous run that they were on. Now they are getting better. Hand aside scoring, Foden aside scoring, KDB is back to fitness, even though he's not playing as his sparkling best, but at least they have more bodies in. And Kovacic just ran the show that game. And this Mamouche guy, even though everybody was impressed with him, to be fair, he had a good showing. He ran about, he was a threat, but like all the shots were off target and it was offside half the time, so I wasn't really bothered. Now, the first goal I would consider, Madueke just forgets that he has defensive responsibilities. He absolutely sleeps and puts everybody on side. First offense. That was bad, but that wasn't what cost us. After he did that, he now did not follow Robadio. Like he just leaves him. Like he kept lagging behind. Like, what are you doing? Man City players in front of you running to creating an option for a pass or to score from a rebound, and you're just leaving him alone, unchallenged. And even at that, that could have not mattered if Sanchez came off his line to collect the ball earlier. Because I don't know what he did. Kukurea was struggling with, who was it? I think it was Mamouche. Yeah, I think it was Mamouche. Kukurea was struggling with him, and he was able to get to the ball first. Meaning that, like, to me, that means that Sanchez could have gotten to the ball because Kukurea would have protected him, like maybe tried to push Mamouche off the ball rather than trying to get to the ball. You understand what I'm saying? But either there was no communication or Sanchez, I don't know, he would just come out to claim the ball. And it was just, oh, gosh, it's just one of those things that I just say, oh, Sanchez, man, oh, Madueke. Like people would see it differently and blame forever. But even at that, it's 1-1. The game, the first half ends 1-1. It's not the end of the world. Like we still have a chance to win this game. But then when we come out in the second half, we're even worse than any second half that we've played. Like some people were saying that this is the worst game that we've seen Chelsea play in a long time, or this season rather. But honestly, I think Liverpool is still pretty up there. That Liverpool game that we played was horrendous. It's 1-1. It's not the end of the world. You guys, what I'm saying? Like we still have a chance to win the game. And then second half we're worse, like so much worse. And we keep playing this high line, and they keep beating. Like the 3 goals come from us playing high line, and then hitting the ball over the top. That's how they scored the 3 goals. And there was no point that Maresca thought, you know what? Let's drop the line down a bit. Even with the second half, the first half, Man City were playing a very high line, but the second half, they dropped their line a bit. They dropped it back. They were playing a mid block. They were not playing as high and risky as they were in the first half. But we kept playing up. And I don't know why Maresca didn't change it. So this was the initial image. As it is now, it's not, we've been in situations like this and we've gotten out of it. Like, this is not so bad. Chalobah gets beaten from the ball over the top, and he's in a foot race with Haaland. But he has more to do, and he failed to do his job. Just look at this. Everybody's saying, oh, Sanchez, he ran out, he shouldn't have done that, blah, blah, blah. Agreed. Sanchez is a bomb, but like I said, it is boring. It is boring. I'm exhausted. I don't like talking about it, because if I talk about it for long enough, I would start cursing and insulting, which I don't want to do. Just look at this image. Look at this image. You can see where Chalobah is. There's no shot for Alan to take. But what does Chalobah do? He falls down. Like, are you freaking kidding? She agreed. Sanchez should have never come out. He's a no man fan. I don't know what went into his brain to make him go there. But look at Chalobah. You cannot go down there. Everybody, if you look, where James, Powell, there's no pass there. The only option to pass to is maybe Gundogan at the corner of the picture there. But to even get to that option, so many steps have to be crossed. Like Chalobah has one job, cut out the shooting options, but he falls, sits on his bum, and makes the shot even easier for Haaland. And God, which is why in the previous video when I was talking about transfers, I'm not overjoyed that Chalobah is back because he is still another average defender. It is not good that he is slightly better than Kisasi. Like it's not a good thing. Like you shouldn't be saying, "Oh, you should have sold him." Like it doesn't matter that whether we sell him or keep him because he is not good enough to be a starter. He should not be starting for us, in my opinion. He is a good squad player. He's a good rotation, like just like Big or he's a solid defender. But he's not the quality that we need as starting at centre back. Even I don't think Colwell is there yet. Like in my own ideal world, neither of them will be at starting centre backs. I think either one would be decent right next to a solid defender. The same way Konate looks so good beside Van Dijk. I can bet you if Konate started out his career with maybe Kwanzaa beside him, he will not look as good as he does now. We need a proper experienced centre back. But what do you know? This January, he signed, I've forgotten what his name is, from Strasbourg. That we bought him some like a year or 2 years back and sent to Strasbourg. We signed him. Another 19-year-old centre back for the summer, and we're looking at young centre backs. I don't know why we keep looking at young centre backs. We don't need young centre backs. But when we have young centre backs playing beside next to each other, these kind of things will always happen because they are even no matter how good they are, these kind of things will not happen. People strikers like Haaland will always get the better out of them. The third goal, always gets bullied by Haaland, and Chalobah is just ball watching. He gets attracted to the ball and all the space behind for him. The third goal, another ball over the top. Like I said, the 3 goals from balls over the top, well, our line is so fucking high. Like, what is the point in us being this high up? Well, anyway, even as it is, like as everything is, we're all man to man. Like everybody's marking man to man. It is not the end of the world. We should be able to deal with this. In the next frame, just look at Chalobah. He leaves his man. He gets attracted to. He leaves Foden free. Haaland is bullying Colwell. He doesn't even need to be a perfect ball. Like you can play a nonsense pass in that gap and it still be a good enough pass. If he just stays with Foden and maybe Gusto is able to help out Colwell to get the ball back, we probably don't concede. I'm not happy at all. And this January has been the worst month ever, compounded by the fact that we are doing nothing, absolutely nothing of note, nothing of significance in the window. There are so many glaring issues with Lavia being injury prone, with Jackson being tired and being bad, horrible run of form, with our best defender in Fofana also being injury prone and out. Colwell was out for a little bit, which was why we recalled Colwell and Badiashile were out, which is why we recalled Chalobah. Yeah. Disasi is not good enough. We've not even been able to move him on yet. I think there were links with Aston Villa, but not as come of fruition yet. But we are thinning down in the midfield, and we are still looking to sell Dewsbury Hall. We're looking to sell Chukwuemeka. We're looking to sell Cassidy. Like, what are we doing? So many glaring issues that we're doing nothing this window. We're looking like Garnacho. We're looking like Garnacho. Man. It has been very, very bad. Very, very bad. What? Gosh. We won one game, man. One game. Honestly, I think that Man City game, we should have played the same backline that we played against Wolves because Cole should not have started that game. Chalobah had a great game against Wolves and it was just as bad as Sanchez against Man City. Honestly, they were both at 4-4, the same number of goals because the third goal, I don't think Sanchez could have done much better. But Sanchez had his hands in the first and second goal. Chalobah had his hands in the second and third goal. But yeah, this month, well, okay, technically we won 2 games. Well, I don't register the Morecambe game in my head. So this month, technically we won 2, drew 2, and lost 1. You know what? On paper, it actually doesn't look as bad as it is in my head. But because of the way December ended and the way January went, plus how we're moving in this January transfer window, it's just bad. Like everything's just bad. we won two, drew two, and lost one. But the one defeat, it just feels so bad because it just feels worse than it just makes everything feel worse because mostly because we're out of the top four. After we lost that, we could have still remained in top four. But with that loss, Man City go above us. Man City went above us, and the way the Crystal Palace and Bournemouth game played out, so this entire January, entirely with the transfer window included, is a D. Because I think what I said in the previous video, even if the only thing that we managed to do this window is sell the Sassy, it will be a 10 out of 10 for me. But with everything that we've done, even though it's still technically too early to speak because the window, I think it closes officially on Monday. But I can't see us selling the Sassy before then. I was right initially when I said it that I don't think we're going to do anything significant this January window. And in the beginning of January, they made me think, okay, maybe they might actually make some moves. But man, it's just been terrible. So yeah, I'll give it a D. I will give the full month a D. And this is my January starting 11. Jackson stays there because he's our only striker. Sancho, I think he's becoming part of the core group in our starting 11, which to me is Palmer, Enzo, Caicedo, Guerra, and James. To me, those are the people that I would like to see start every game. Honestly, Jackson was part of it, but this is one of them. I don't want to leave it to him. I'll just leave him alone because it's not completely his fault because he should not be the only striker. But yeah, Sancho to me he's put himself in that core group, and Madueke is improving. He has gotten 2 goals in 2 games now. I think yeah, 2 goals in 2 games, and I hope he continues to improve. I still don't think he's. If there was a better player that I would get a better player because I think he's average, an average player. But yeah, this is the starting 11. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Leave your comments below. Tell me the grade that you gave this month. Let me know if you noticed any difference in the video with the extensive notes that I made. If it made a difference in how I was talking versus the previous videos. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.